Hey guys, welcome back here at the Lost Creek Farm. We are in the front yard right now because I want to talk to you guys a little bit about some coulda, shoulda, wouldas. We've had this property for about 5 years, and when we bought it, it was completely overgrown. It was full of trash. There was an old tear-down shack here, which we got rid of. And garage, like the garage slab, concrete, I mean, you name it, it was here and needed to be dealt with. But the biggest issue was that it was just completely overgrown. There were, brambles that were shoulder high. The whole thing was just a cluster of pine saplings, 3-4 inches thick. And we literally did not know what the contour of the land was exactly, or what it looked like. I mean, you couldn't even, we spent probably 3 hours with a machete one day making a path towards the back property line. And I mean, it was so unbelievably thick you couldn't see 10 feet in front of you, and I'm not exaggerating. And we spent the better part of 1.5 years clearing that stuff out, and that process has not ended yet. There's a lot that I should have done that I didn't do at the time, especially with regard to the pine trees. You can see there's this area of brown dirt that goes all the way over to the power pole here. We just did that the last few days, and we've got trash piles galore, not trash piles, but brush piles galore. We want those to be burn piles, but by the time that dries, it's out here sitting in the front yard. It doesn't look nice, so I may either move these piles to the back, or we'll have to get another roll-off and just start piling stuff into a roll-off. But the problem is that that little part back here behind the tractor is not all there is to it. You can see all the nice hardwoods behind me. This is what I want it to look like. Where I'm walking now, it's all pine trees still out here by the road. And these things are big. I'd say most of them are between 25 and probably 35 feet tall. They range in diameter from, I'd say, from 5 to about, I don't know, what is this guy here? He's got to be, let's take a look. This guy right here, here's my hand. This tree is 10, 11 inches in diameter. Thankfully not that tall. And it's just all of this. And if they get any bigger, I am not going to be able to drop these trees this close to the road. You can hear the cars going by. I'm not going to be able to drop these trees comfortably this close to the road. And there is no shortage, as you can see right here. There are, without exaggerating, I don't know, let's see. My guess would be that this area I'm walking through here, and I'm going to do a 360 loop, or 180 actually, so you can kind of see. I'd guess there's probably 75 to 100 trees here still, and they used to be small enough to where when we were clearing the land, I had rented a tracked skid steer with a grapple and a bucket, quick detach, and I was able to just yank those things out of the ground with the root ball and put them in a big pile and burn them. Or a lot of them we dumped into roll-offs. I'd say we probably filled 15 roll-offs just with landscape debris and garbage that had been dumped here. Everything from what was left of the old house to tires. Everybody in the area apparently thought this was a good place to dump their Christmas trees after Christmas. So there was piles of dead Christmas trees. And it's just been a nightmare. And, at this point, I've got utilities that run from the road underground over to the house. And I don't want the roots of these trees getting into my water line. The gas line runs through there, and that's just headaches that maybe you know, maybe years away, but nobody wants those headaches. So slowly but surely, I've been doing what you see behind me, where it's all nice and clear. And once we get it clear, we can put in a nice fence, because as it is right now, you know, you can't run a fence through here. I don't want to have the fence on the other side of the trees. Well, really, I don't want to have this fence on either side of this row of trees. I want to have it right where the trees are, which obviously presents a problem as far as digging holes for fence posts with this many root balls and stumps left in the ground. So that's the next project that's kind of been going on. Well, it's really hasn't stopped. So in the last week, I have taken out 23 of these trees already. I've got 4 or 5 big burn piles going already, but like I said, I mean, I do have neighbors. I don't mind burning some, you know, some dry yard debris. If it burns fast and hot and doesn't smoke like crazy once it's good and dry, I have no problem with that. I do not want to have a big smoking, stinking fire where there's a lot of, you know, green wood in there. That it's just not nice. It's not nice for us. It's not nice for the neighbors. And I don't mind burning it if it's ready to burn, but you know, some of the piles that I've got going on up here are right up by the road, and they don't look good, and I don't want them here all summer long until they dry out. So it's a little bit of a conundrum. I can certainly move them down the hill where nobody will see them, but if I move them down the hill where nobody will see them, they're going to be in a place where they're too close to other trees, live trees that I want to keep. And I can burn them there, so I don't want to have to keep moving them back and forth. And right now, I mean, they're not that big. You can deal with this. A lot of pine, a lot of other kind of, I don't even know what these are. Just crazy bush thing that was spreading like mad. So that's the project for today. So we're gonna cut down a few more trees. Probably won't get that on camera just because I'm by myself and I can't do it all. But I'm going down the hill here just to show you what I've got going in terms of the trees we've already cut out. And there's the chickens on the other side of the creek. They are cruising along, picking at whatever they can find. It's nice here in the shade. So here is what I've already got. There are about 23 trees in here. And you can kind of see I've just been stacking them up right here so that if I needed to, I can put a strap on the end with the tractor, just pull them out one at a time if we ever want to do anything with them. And you know, some of it, like I've said before, a lot of people say you can't burn pine. I mean, that's nonsense. Even in I wouldn't put it in the wood stove, but if you split it and stack it and get it really good and seasoned, and you burn it in an open fireplace where it burns hot and fast, there's nothing wrong with burning pine. Do some research on creosote. There's, you know, arguably just as much, if not more, creosote in certain kinds of deciduous trees that the difference to good dry pine is negligible. And if you think about, you know, certain parts out west where all they have is pine trees, you know, it's not like those folks don't have fires. And so I don't need this much pine, at least not for burning. But when we go, you know, even when we go camping, I'll throw split pine, you know, in the back of the truck, and bring that for our firewood. You know, especially if you're having, you know, outdoor open fires where it's not going up a flue. So anyway, that's it for today. I got to get up there, get the chainsaw warmed up, and drop a couple of these, because if I don't keep working at it, I'm never gonna get caught up, and I'm never gonna get rid of all of them. So my limit is about 4 or 5 of these trees per day when I'm by myself, and it just wears you out, dragging logs and cutting all the limbs off. So that's what I figure. So a few weeks, if I get a few trees done every couple of days, should be all right. And that's all I got. So leave some comments down below if you guys have any questions. Give us a thumbs up for a like, and subscribe to the channel. You'll see new videos as they come out, and I'll probably get some, if I can, of dropping some of these trees. But it's not fun. And like I said at the beginning, if I had known then what I know now, I would have gotten rid of all of them right away. Oh, good Lord. Would that have been so much easier? I was like, oh yeah, leave a nice row of pine trees up by the road. What a nightmare. They are like weeds. They multiply like you wouldn't believe, and they grow 5 to 10 feet per year once they get going. And a lot of these were so small just a couple of years ago that I could have just pushed them over with the tractor, literally. And now I gotta fell them and deal with it. So that's all I got for now. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, give us a like, post any questions down below, and let me know if there's anything else you guys want to see, what we do around here. If you have any questions, our vegetable garden that we got going a couple of weeks ago, a week and a half ago, we got a good rain, and I can see from here that things are starting to sprout. Corn is coming up. I got radishes, I got green beans and squash and pumpkins and watermelons and all sorts of other stuff over there in the garden. So we'll get to those next. That might be the next video, just show you guys how everything's coming and how we have it set up. So that's it. Have a great day, and we'll see you at the next video. Take care.